What if I told you that for centuries, the stars have been sending us messages and we've been completely missing them? Think about it. Every single night, millions of us look up at the sky. We see twinkling lights, distant suns, maybe even recognize a constellation or two. But what if those stars weren't just mindless balls of gas burning millions of miles away? What if they were trying to tell us something profound, something we've been too distracted to even notice? For ancient civilizations, the stars were everything. They weren't just part of the background. They were a guide. They were thought to be gods, ancestors, or the architects of fate. From the Egyptians who aligned their pyramids with Orion's belt, to the Polynesians who navigated vast oceans using only the night sky, humans have always looked up and seen more than just lights. But what if there's a layer we've missed all this time? Now, fast forward to today. We live in a world where technology has allowed us to peer deeper into space than ever before. We've uncovered exoplanets, black holes, even mysterious phenomena like fast radio bursts. But there's a theory gaining traction that takes this all one step further. What if these phenomena aren't just random cosmic events? What if they are messages? Imagine the concept: civilizations scattered across the galaxy, trying to communicate not with words, but with the very fabric of the universe. Picture a cosmic Morse code, broadcast through time and space, through light, energy, and radiation. And the biggest mystery, we've barely scratched the surface. For example, fast radio bursts. These powerful, fleeting signals, some lasting just milliseconds, they've baffled scientists since their discovery. Each one carries more energy in those few milliseconds than our sun does in an entire day. And the truth is, we don't even know where they're coming from, or why. Could it be that we're not alone, that somewhere out there, intelligent beings are using the universe as their messaging platform, sending signals in the form of these bursts, waiting for someone, anyone, to respond? Could we, right now, be on the verge of the greatest discovery of all time, one that proves we're part of a much larger cosmic conversation? But how could we even begin to decode such messages? Let's consider the possibilities. If a civilization wanted to communicate across vast interstellar distances, what methods would they use? Radio waves, light pulses, gravitational waves? The universe is full of ways to send a signal, and the idea that stars, or even entire galaxies, could be a part of that communication network isn't as far-fetched as it seems. Take, for instance, pulsars, rapidly spinning neutron stars that emit beams of electromagnetic radiation. These beams sweep across space like cosmic lighthouses, perfectly timed and incredibly precise. To an untrained eye, they might seem random, but scientists have already used pulsars as natural cosmic clocks. What if their precision isn't just a coincidence? What if these rhythmic signals are actually part of an ancient transmission, ticking away like a galactic heartbeat, waiting for the right mind to unlock their secrets? Or consider quasars, the most luminous objects in the universe, powered by supermassive black holes. They emit so much energy that they can be seen from billions of light years away. Could their seemingly chaotic bursts of light and energy be carrying encrypted data? Information that, when decoded, could tell us who or what is out there. And then there's the question of intent. If these are messages, are they meant for us specifically? Or are we just eavesdropping on a conversation that was never meant for human ears? Imagine the thrill of realizing that what we've been observing are not random signals, but carefully constructed patterns, an intentional effort by an alien civilization to make contact, possibly even to warn us or invite us into a larger cosmic community. But here's the kicker. What if we've already received these messages and we're too primitive to understand them? After all, our current technology might not be advanced enough to decode these signals. Maybe it's like handing a smartphone to a caveman. The technology is there, but the understanding, that could take centuries. So, if these signals are out there, how do we find them? Well, we've already started. Programs like SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, have been scanning the skies for decades, looking for anything that resembles a message. They use massive radio telescopes to listen for unusual patterns in the electromagnetic spectrum, hoping that one day they'll stumble upon a signal that's too structured, too perfect to be natural. But what if we've been looking in the wrong places? What if the signals aren't in the frequencies we expect? The universe operates on scales that are unimaginable. From the quantum level to the cosmic, there could be entire communication channels happening right under our noses, using technology so advanced it's indistinguishable from magic. Think about it. When we first discovered electricity, no one could have predicted that one day we'd be sending images and videos across the globe instantly. So why should we expect an alien civilization to use the same technology as us? In fact, some scientists believe we should be looking at neutrinos, nearly massless particles that pass through matter undetected, or even gravitational waves, ripples in space-time itself. These could be the perfect medium for transmitting messages over vast distances, because unlike radio waves or light, they aren't easily distorted by cosmic dust or other obstacles in space. But even with all of this technology at our disposal, the most fascinating part is that we might not even need fancy equipment to notice these messages. Some suggest that the clues could be hidden in plain sight, in the patterns of the stars themselves, in the cosmic microwave background radiation, or even encoded in the very physics of the universe. What if the structure of reality, the laws that govern how everything works, is itself a message from the creators of the universe, or perhaps from a civilization so old and so advanced, they've embedded their wisdom into the fabric of space-time itself. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Imagine if we could decipher these cosmic secrets, if we could finally read the messages that have been written across the sky for eons. What would they tell us? Could they reveal the history of the universe, the nature of life, or even the future of humanity? The possibilities are endless. But let's pause for a moment and consider the implications. What would happen if we actually deciphered these messages? What if we confirmed that we're not alone in the universe? For centuries, humans have looked to the stars and wondered about our place in the cosmos. But are we really ready for the answer? Because the truth is, once we open this door, there's no going back. First of all, there's the question of how humanity would react. Would the discovery of an alien message unite us or divide us further? In some ways, it could be the greatest unifying moment in human history. Proof that we're part of something bigger, that Earth is just one tiny piece of a vast, interconnected universe. But on the other hand, the fear of the unknown has always been a powerful force. Some might see this as a threat, leading to panic, paranoia, and even conflict. After all, history has shown that when faced with something unfamiliar, humanity doesn't always react rationally. And then there's the question of what the message actually says. What if it's a warning, a cautionary tale from a civilization that has seen the rise and fall of countless species before us? Or on the flip side, what if it's an invitation, a call to join a galactic community where species from across the universe share knowledge and resources? It's exciting, but also terrifying. Are we ready for that kind of responsibility? And can we trust that the intentions of these other civilizations are peaceful? There's also the possibility that the message is far beyond our understanding. Imagine trying to explain quantum physics to a medieval peasant. The information could be so advanced, so incomprehensible to our current level of technology, that we simply wouldn't know what to do with it. It could take centuries, even millennia, to fully grasp what's being communicated. And then we have to ask ourselves, should we even respond? If we do, we're announcing our presence to the universe. It's like sending a flare up into the night sky. It can be seen by anyone. Are we sure that's a good idea? Because once the signal is out there, we can't control who picks it up. It might be a friendly neighbor, or it could be something far less welcoming. This isn't just science fiction. It's a legitimate concern that scientists like Stephen Hawking have raised. The risks of contacting an unknown civilization might outweigh the benefits. So, where does that leave us? Are we on the verge of the greatest discovery in human history, or are we just scratching the surface of something we can't yet comprehend? The truth is, We don't know. But one thing's for sure, the universe is far more mysterious, far more complex than we ever imagined. And every time we look up at the stars, we're reminded that there's still so much we have yet to learn. Perhaps the stars are speaking to us. Maybe they've been sending us messages for eons, waiting for us to finally listen. Or maybe the very act of searching is the message itself, a reminder that we are explorers, driven by curiosity, constantly seeking answers to the biggest questions. But here's the ultimate question. If we do find these messages, and if we do uncover the truth, will we be ready for it? Or is the knowledge of the universe something that, for now, is better left as a mystery? As we continue to reach out into the cosmos, listening and hoping for a response, we can only wonder what will happen if the stars finally speak back.